I thought I had the 6 Love and Deepspace love interests completely figured out. I knew we were eventually going to get another character, and after looking at all 5 we already had, I started to notice a pattern. Like Xavier and Sylus are opposites, and Caleb and Zayne are opposites, but we didn't have Rafayel's. So I started making my predictions. I thought he would be a CEO, have yellow eyes, and light purple hair. Well, I was partly right. He is a CEO and does have yellow eyes, but instead of giving us another legitimate businessman like Sylus, Infold surprised us all with something I never even saw coming, a werewolf. And honestly, the more teasers they released, the more interested I became. Partially because, as you all know, I'm a big fan of Aphmel and she has werewolves as part of her theme in My Street, so it felt like it was a calling back to my childhood. This was not funny. I kid you not, it was not funny. But anyways, so today I wanted to break down everything we officially know about Valko, my personal impressions, and a few theories I have before his official debut on July 9th and his official trailer on June 28th. Bonjour, it is Anna Wolf Hero, and if you're new here, I make videos about storytelling, Love and Deepspace, Minecraft, and creating my own original fantasy worlds. Today we're talking about the newest Love and Deepspace love interest, Valko. Now, at a time I've been making this video, he hasn't officially released yet. We've only gotten teaser videos and official information from Infold. So everything I'm discussing today is based on what has officially been shown or some of the personal theories I have for him. I'm really curious to see how much of this ends up being right once he finally releases. Before Valko was revealed, I started looking at the current love interest, and something caught my attention. It almost feels like each of the characters had their balance, which is what was confirmed from Love and Deepspace. For example, Xavier represents light, Sylus represents darkness. Their personalities are different, but they also have similar hairstyles and different shades of color. Then there's Zayne and Caleb. Both have dark hair, but completely different personalities. Zayne is calm, logical, and reserved, while Caleb is warm, cheerful, and expressive. So naturally, I started wondering who would be Rafayel's opposite. Since Rafayel is artistic, emotional, dramatic, and tends to go wherever inspiration takes him, I imagine his opposite would be someone more structured. Someone who lives by schedules. A businessman. Maybe even a CEO. I also imagined yellow eyes and light purple hair to mirror Rafayel's dark purple hair. Well, Infold definitely surprised me. Instead of a polished businessman, they gave us a CEO, who's also a techie engineer, so he's nerdy, a vigilante, and somehow a werewolf. Interesting combination with the werewolf part, but I am invested. That combination alone immediately made him one of the most unique characters so far in the game, based on how much they collaborated on him. So let's talk about his design first. I honestly think Valko has one of the strongest first impressions out of all the love interests. His auburn hair immediately makes him stand out, since most of the others have a longer hairstyle and not very bright color hair, unlike Rafayel, who has a darker purple, which kind of can blend in with the black. His yellow eyes instantly remind you of a wolf. And throughout the teasers, we get to see multiple sides of him. During the day, he appears as a professional CEO or a techie nerd. In other teasers, we see him working in his high-tech laboratory wearing a white coat and glasses. Nice touch, Infold, nice touch. Then at night, everything changes. He becomes this mysterious vigilante wearing a black, long jacket with wolf ears and a tail while hunting wanderers. That contrast between his normal life and his secret identity already made me pretty interested in learning more about him. Unlike the other boys who kind of follow a basic rule, for Xavier, he is, our deep space hunter partner, and for Sylus, he is a mafia boss, and for Zayne, he's a doctor, and Caleb, he's a pilot, and Rafayel's an artist. This guy seems to have not only his upfront job as a CEO, but a backup. Similar to how Sylus is like a so-called fruit vendor in order for him to approach MC at her workplace. He kind of pulls off that look, but it's more invested into, unlike Sylus being kind of like his cover story. It almost feels like he's living in completely two different lifestyles compared to the other Love and Deepspace boys. The first teaser immediately raised so many questions. We see Valko running through the forest while transforming between his wolf and his werewolf form. And the video is presented like a news report talking about a dangerous beast escaping from the laboratory. Immediately my mind started asking all the questions. Like, was he created there, experimented on, did he escape, or was someone hunting him down? I love when trailers ask questions instead of answering everything immediately. It gives you that tenacious feeling to want to know more, and it invests you into the story of Love and Deepspace. Then the second trailer expanded more on his personality and where he fits in the main story and how he comes into the main story. We learn he's incredibly skilled with technology, he has his own little tech lab, he is confident, he is proud, very intelligent, and the thing that surprised me the most was how quickly his attitude changes around MC. One of the lines that really caught my attention was when he noticed her scent. Instead of treating it as like a simple observation, he seemed genuinely fascinated and almost allured to it. It almost felt familiar to him based on how I saw his reactions, and this is where my theories start. Based on everything we've seen so far, I imagine Valko as someone who is confident in his abilities. He's clearly intelligent. He seems to enjoy solving problems, and I wouldn't be surprised if he enjoys showing off his inventions every now and then. He is also very determined, maybe even stubborn. That confidence could easily become one of his greatest strengths, but also one of his weaknesses. However, around MC, he seems already much softer. That contrast is something I really like. It's similar to how some of the other love interests slowly reveal another side of themselves once they begin trusting MC. For example, Sylus, we all knew him as a very stern, strict, very high-strung mafia boss, and around MC, he treats her very softly, he's very calm around her, loves teasing her, and loves just watching her be this strong, independent woman, and just observing her from afar, and at the same time just wanting her to be close to him, like a soulmate bond. Which in turn makes me curious if that's what we'll be seeing as Valko as well. I also wanted to compare him with everyone else. Compared to Sylus, as our first comparison, he seems the most closest in lifestyle and format. Both of them are very powerful businessmen, but Sylus controls the underworld in a way. In the N109 zone, Valko seems more focused on tech and innovation. Compared to Xavier, Valko feels more energetic and less sleepy. Compared to Zayne, they're both incredibly intelligent. The difference is that Zayne studied medicine, while Valko seems more specified in engineering, specifically technology. Then we have Rafayel, and this is where I think Valko becomes his complete opposite, and his proof, in matter of fact. Rafayel follows inspiration, Valko appears to follow strategy. Rafayel creates art, Valko creates technology. And finally, we have Caleb. Both seem very warm around MC, but Caleb is openly protective. Valko seems like he protects her in a quieter, more subtle way. So here are my biggest theories before Valko officially releases. Theory number 1. MC's scent isn't actually unfamiliar to him. I think it's familiar. Knowing MC's past, that she was experimented in these labs, there's a possibility that Valko, his father, was the original chairman of the business he runs now, probably let his son get experimented on, and he probably must have known about her, but only by scent. And that's why he doesn't understand why that scent is so familiar to him. Theory number 2. I don't think Valko joins MC simply because she's the main character. I think he already has his own reasons for fighting wanderers. Maybe the protocors have a key to eradicating themselves away, and for him to be maybe his werewolf form isn't his thing. Maybe he wants to be fully human, and he just wants to recover from that. So maybe their goals align so well that he decides to join her and help her in catching wanderers and eventually getting protocors, similar to Sylus, with his goal of needing protocors because he survives off of them. And theory number 3, I think Valko is going to introduce us to an entirely new side of Love and Deepspace world. Until now, we've explored hunters, Lemurians, dragons with Sylus and the N109 zone, and all different parts of this universe. And I think Valko is about to introduce us more to the animal side. starting with the werewolves, their society, traditions, his own pack eventually, maybe, because he did mention in his latest teaser trailer, that he was talking about his cousins and his grandmother, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I think this would massively expand into the game's world building like crazy, because we're going to see a way more techier side of Love and Deepspace. We've seen parts of it here and there with Sylus, Zayne, Xavier, Caleb, Rafayel, but not as much as we're probably going to see with Valko. Out of everything, I am most excited to learn about his past. How did he become who he is today? Why was he connected to the laboratory? What happened to his family? How did he become both the CEO and a vigilante? And most importantly, how does MC fit into all of this? Those are the questions I'm hoping the official trailer starts answering, and that we will eventually see in his debut July 9th. So, overall, I think Valko has one of the strongest introductions out of all the Love and Deepspace interests so far. He is the one that has the most questions. Compared to Sylus, who had an amazing introduction when he came in, most of the questions were pretty much answered, versus Valko seems to be even left on a greater mystery level. Every teaser has revealed another layer of his character, and it's like we're slowly peeling this apart. First, we thought he was just a CEO, and then we learned he's an engineer, and he's nerdy, and he's a vigilante. And all we thought originally is that he's just a werewolf CEO, and that's it. But no, there's so much more. Each reveals he's way more interesting than a simple repeat of ideas we've already seen with other love interests through video games or stories. And right now, Sylus is still going to remain my favorite. His story came into my life during a meaningful time, so he's always going to have a special place for me. But I have to admit, Valko has definitely caught my attention. And mostly it's because I grew up on werewolves, that kind of theme, through Alfmal and her My Street series. So maybe that's why I'm more inclined to him. But I love the half and half personality, kind of like a superhero. Kind of like Superman, to put it simply. He's a typical CEO, and no, it turns out he is this vigilante fighting off wanderers. It's just great. And I'm really looking forward to the official trailer so much, because I think we're going to finally understand who he really is, more into his personality, his motives, his values, and his relationship with MC and how it will develop. One thing I love about Love and Deepspace is that each love interest brings a different perspective on the world. They're not just different visually, they each have their own way of approaching life, relationships, and the challenges around them. And that's what keeps the cast feeling fresh. These are just my first impressions and theories before Valko fully debuts, and I'm excited to see which one of them turns out to be right, or completely wrong. I'd love to hear what you think. What's your favorite theory about Valko? Do you think he'll become one of your favorite love interests, or is someone else still holding the top spot for you? Let me know down in the comments below, and once the official trailer drops, we'll come back and see how many of these predictions actually came true. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more Love and Deepspace discussion, storytelling videos, Minecraft content, and updates on my own original fantasy worlds. Until next time, and a wolf hero out!